What is guilt-free self-care? What does that even feel like? I'm Rose Cress, and I'm the owner and the director of the LifeForce Yoga Healing Institute. And let's talk about what guilt-free self-care means. So self-care is this beautiful buzzword, and people are talking about it. And that's great. And I love seeing all the self-care posts and self-care Saturdays and self-care Sundays, etc., etc. But what happens when we go to take care of ourselves and we feel guilty for it? So let me give you an example. Recently, I was working on a project, the newsletter for LifeForce Yoga, and I had been working on it for 2 days, and I was coordinating with Liz, who supports me, and we were going back and forth and this and that, and it hit about 4:30 in the afternoon. I needed to go to the post office and pick up some vitamins and take errands and actually leave the house because I had not been outside at all at that point. And so my husband and I decided when we were running the errand to the post office that we might go for a walk. And we ended up going to beautiful waterfalls. And I remember on this walk there was this kind of blip moment where I felt really guilty for taking care of myself. Oh, it was so yucky. It was like, how could I be out here enjoying the beauty of nature when I've got a to-do list and I've got emails stacking up? How dare I? Well, I talked to that inner critic and just sent that inner critic on the walk with me because I couldn't have it zapping my joy, which is what it was doing. So let's talk about some things that we can do to let go of the guilt that we might have associated with self-care. So the first thing is we need to realize that we have to fill our own cups before we can fill somebody else. Meaning you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of somebody else. So many of us are suffering from exhaustion, burnout, people changing jobs because they just can't maintain the job that they have anymore, people getting sick because they can't maintain the activity level that they've got. You have to realize that it's so important to fill your own cup before you work with others. And I think of parents all the time when I'm talking about this, parents of small children who have to run themselves ragged to take care of their kids. And the ways in which we can come together so that we can support ourselves and support others. So if you have to take a nap, set aside time to take a nap. If you have to get up 10 minutes early in the morning so you can do 10 minutes of a breathing practice, then get up 10 minutes early in the morning. It's worth it. If you go to bed 10 minutes late so you can take care of yourself, make that happen. If you're a parent with a kid, take them on a walk with you so that you can at least get some movement. So, number one, remember to fill your own cup because you cannot fill from an empty cup. Number two is schedule it in. Some people really resist scheduling their days, and I'm talking scheduling down to the minute, and it can feel so constrictive to do that, but when you start to schedule your day like that, it actually starts to free yourself up, because now we have times to do specific things. It's like, oh, well, I'm only answering emails from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, and now 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is my break. And so I'm going to go and I'm going to take a break. I mean, we run ourselves ragged, and yet the labor laws in this country are that you get a 5-minute break for every hour that you work. So if you're self-employed, you're not even following the labor laws in this country. It's terrible what we do to ourselves in the name of getting things done. And we have to look at those scheduled self-care times as important because your brain is refreshed. So some simple self-care things that you can schedule is you can go outside, you can do some breathing practices, you can do yoga nidra, which is this deep restorative relaxation practice for your brain. You can do a yoga practice, any number of things. And while I'm talking about it, and this is what happened for me on that walk, one of the things I did was I sat down next to the stream, took my shoes off, and I just put my feet on the rocks in the stream, and I just sat there. And I let the water rush over, and I just had this kind of visualization that my batteries were being recharged. So number 3 is to do a little bit of earthing. What's earthing, you ask? Well, hey, it's this really cool thing that apparently we've always done, but we don't do anymore because we wear shoes and we're inside most of the time, or we don't go outside. And this is where you take your feet and put them flat on the earth, and it literally starts to recharge your batteries. There's even some evidence to suggest that earthing can change our moods. Like if we're feeling depressed or anxious, putting your feet on the ground helps to charge you up and change your mood. So earthing. And you can, you're in a place where you can't put your feet on the ground, or it's snowing, or ticks or whatever. You can also, there are a bunch of earthing supplies that you can get and that help you ground yourself. So it's about grounding. So we've got filling your empty cup, we've got scheduling your self-care time, we've also got earthing as a self-care tool, guilt-free self-care, and then let it go. You have to let the guilt go. You're carrying that guilt around of the things that you should be doing, the things that you haven't taken care of yet. You have to learn to let it go. And I know it's really challenging, and lots can be said about the practice of letting go, but let it go. It's time to take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And the only way to do that is to let the guilt go associated around all of the to-dos. And really, maybe even look at all of those to-dos, because maybe you've got too much to do. Maybe you're taking on too much. Which leads me to the 5th and final tip, which is say yes to saying no. Learning how to say no to things. No, I can't do that. No, I don't have time to do that. It's okay to say no. You're not shutting down opportunities. You are modeling healthy self-care to yourself, to children, to friends and family by saying no to things that's too much for you. So I hope this helped. I hope you're feeling a little less guilt over taking care of yourself. And while you're feeling a little less guilt over taking care of yourself, go ahead and subscribe to our page where you can get more tips and more tools. Go ahead and check out some of our other videos. We've even got a video playlist on an at-home self-care retreat, which you can do. It's got a yoga class in there. It's got a meditation and chanting practice. So until next time, thanks so much.